meters, we should be fine.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Bridge, nav.
Can we look along the wall in the direction that we're moving?
Sure.
20 meters, bearing 0.
Just want to get a perspective off into the distance of
Thank
what
you.
the density of the biology we have attached to the wall is.
So do you want, excuse me, do you want us to face the strike more like this?
Yeah, look
Okay.
off into the distance a little bit.
Something more along the lines of parallel to the
Got your
strike.
light bar there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
parallel, yeah.
Okay, try that out.
We've lost a lot of, well, not lost, but not as many large precious coral fans in this area. It's mostly bamboo corals, a few black corals. Same density of these stalked crinoids we've been seeing. But yeah, it's changed a little bit. We lost some of the massive sponges.
Yeah, I was
we were
going to say,
seeing.
were you seeing a lot of bio earlier in the dive? Wasn't up for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. It might have just been we did go around a little point that jutted out into the, jutted out from the wall into the blue water, and maybe there was some current acceleration that led to an increased density of suspension feeders there. It's my running hypothesis, but
Do you have a walking one?
I've never heard that before.
I've never either. That was really dumb. I should never say that again.
Oh, I love it.
can we zoom in on center screen?
Sure.
There's a red branching structure now at like 9 o'clock-ish.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying. Stand by. All right, video, go ahead and start to push in.
Zooming in,
Okay, hold that.
holding.
All right, push in a little bit more there.
Zooming in more,
Very good.
Hold that.
holding.
So this looks like a bubblegum coral, possibly in the genus Paragorgia.
Stand by.
Well, we sampled one of these earlier in the dive, so I just wanted to take a look. There's a couple of different red branching corals that are out here, both pretty close relatives,
Bouncing
but
around too much.
that's sufficient for an identification. Thanks for
Okay.
that zoom, pilot.
Go ahead and come wide there, video.
Coming wide.
You're far off there.
I was wondering if we could pop up maybe a little bit and go take a peek about how far above us is that ledge?
The one that's above Hercules right now, or the one that's the where the sandy bottom kind of starts?
Yeah, where the sandy, well, this ledge, yeah, right
This
above
ledge
us.
here?
Yeah. Just wanted to take a peek, see what's up there, see if there's any other attached organisms that have appeared
Sure
since
thing.
we've been peeking down below the crest here.
All right. How far up you want me to go?
Enough to look off, into the distance,
Roger,
10
understood.
meters or so. Yeah. So good thing we got those rocks down deep, because I'm not sure any of this stuff is movable, but we're saving our rock collections for the base and transect up this small parasitic
You wanna
cone
come
that's
up a
in
little
the
bit there.
center of this ridge.
Say again? Come
You
on.
want to come up a little bit there? Yeah,
Looks pretty crusty.
please.
You don't like
Yeah,
it?
can we
Close
go
up,
along just like this for a little bit? Maybe 100 meters or so in this kind of orientation?
Okay,
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah, ship made that move now. It's kind of doing a little bouncy. I'm okay to do 0 again, especially now that we're up a little bit higher.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that good? Okay. Bridge nav. One more step, please.
So it looks like there we've
Thank
got
you.
maybe another Paragorgia octocoral.
You want to take a look at it?
Yeah, just a quick snap.
Okay.
You happy with that, Jess?
Yeah, that looks good. Looks better.
What's your minimum delta comfort?
I like 15 as my minimum, but We can do 10 if the thing calls for it, if we're really stretched out.
Yeah, it depends on the distance, right?
Yeah.
The reason why we're finding a lot of these corals just on the edge or within, maybe
Is the video push in, please?
10 meters or
Zooming.
so of this lip is that they're typically currents that are accelerated over these types of features, and in the deep sea, currents accelerating means more particulate food for things that eat out of the water column, like suspension feeders and filter feeders. Yeah, that looks good. I think it's the same, slightly paler shade of red.
That was a really terrible song in the 70s.
Paler shade of All right, so we're good to keep moving.
Good there, yeah.
All right, come
Okay.
wide, please.
Coming wide.
How old do you think that guy is, Steve?
Tough to tell with this group.
Tough crowd.
They aren't well dated in the Pacific, and we know that the age date of many old corals has to be determined by from the base, usually. And one, we don't have that many samples, so we can't really date many of these colonies. And also the age date that we know from certain species like bamboo corals varies with, in some cases, latitude or local oceanography, depending on how much food is available. So in a higher food flow environment, you might have faster growth rates than in a open kind of oligotrophic ocean situation where there's poor nutrients and low productivity in surface waters.
Sorry, Steve. Is this view okay for you here?
Yeah, this is great.
All right.
I see a little brownish blob in
Brownish
around.
blob center screen.
Yeah, center screen. Yeah, you know what I'm looking for. It's probably the only brownish thing in the screen right now.
Indeed.
Data, can you make a note that we are still using USBL as our primary navigation, as we're not getting good Doppler hits for the DVL? Thank you.
Got it.
All right, video, you want to push in there a bit, please?
Zooming.
That's good. Hold that.
Holding.
Very nice. Yeah, we looked at this
Okay,
one.
go ahead and push in some more video.
Okay. All right, if I zoom fully in to focus better.
Sure thing.
All right, zooming all the way in. Oh, that is all the way in.
Yeah, very nice. So
Alright.
this is a black coral. We can make the identification not because of the color of the tissue, but because of the color of the skeleton. And if you look in between where the tentacles are, especially near the base, you can see it's darker. So they have a black proteinaceous skeleton. And this one is a black
video.
coral,
Alright, coming wide.
probably
That's
in the
good.
genus Stauropathes, S-T-A-U-R-O, Pathes.
Got it. Fully wide.
Roger.
So I think that's the second occurrence of that one I've seen on this dive. The one we saw down below was on a boulder. I think it was around 1,800 meters. Let's go back and check my notes, but still within the depth range for that species, or that genus.
And are the black corals typically older? They grow slower? Is that true?
Maybe. You know, we know so little about black corals. Generally, yeah, so black corals are among some of the oldest that have been dated. But I wouldn't say that that particular one is X number of years. I don't think we know a lot about the age of Stauropathes. We know more about the age of other black coral species in general. Ah, okay. Lower right-hand corner. That's something I've been looking for a couple hours. The puffball.
Puffball, lower right.
Yeah, lower right with the stalk.
Yep. Okay. What is that? An anemone or a coral or?
So it's an octocoral.
Okay.
So it is not a very close relative of the as far as corals go. The black coral we were just looking at, but
Video push in,
for the
please.
next to the
Pushing
similar
in.
to the bamboo corals, more closely related to the bamboo corals we've been seeing.
That's good. Thank you, Emily.
Aye.
So this is a pretty
That's awesome.
interesting anthomastus, or anthomastid, whether or not it's in the genus Anthomastus or not. It has a much longer stolon, that kind of fleshy part that's attached to the rock, than the other ones we've been seeing. They've been more like a small button mushroom. But this one actually has like a side bulge coming out of it, which is weird. You don't usually see that with like a 4 or 5 set of polyps coming out. Good to make a note of this. This might be something different. I'm not aware that any of these have been collected, but we'll get some good imagery here since we've got some good steady current flow and in a good direction and orientation, and move on.
Hey Steve, we got a question for you. They're asking about the different colors. With it being so deep and without the light, is there an advantage for different colors, or what's the reasoning for it?
Yeah, it's a good question, and we still don't know a lot about color in the deep sea, especially as it pertains to corals, because we find them in practically every shade of color. I would say probably blue is among the rarest colors for corals. You know, we have green corals we've seen out here. Yellow is quite common. Red is quite common. Not clear. You know, we know that red attenuates rapidly in the visible spectrum in water, but perhaps there's some other wavelength that organisms in the deep sea can see in that would make that color more either attractive or repellent.
Steve, are we all clear to keep moving?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, come wide video.
Aye, coming wide.
Do we think that that's manganese crusting on the surface there at the top?
Do you think that's manganese crust on top?
Are you talking about the black stuff or the white stuff?
The black stuff on the top, obviously not this sheer cliff, but as we were going over it and zooming in, I was just curious if you had an opinion on it.
Yeah, I think it probably is, given the age that we know for some of the rocks in the area.
There's that little divot I think we were seeing,
Yeah.
or part of it at least.
You're ready. I think I'm ready for another one of your moves.
How about this one?
Dance moves.
Okay. 0? Or what do you want? What do you think?
Yeah, I think zeros works.
0 should be alright. Bridge nav. One more step, please. Thank you.
I think we may be breaking a record with our upstate of South Carolina viewers. I got a lot of family and friends writing questions that I'm ignoring, but just let them know that I do see you here.
Oh, look at that rectangular bit. Yeah, it's just a little.
Do you have all 3 of my viewers from Oregon?
Maybe so. We're all over the place right now.
So I was just taking a peek to confirm. We do actually have a good species on that particular Anthomastus we were just looking at. It looks like it's Anthomastus tahinotus, which is known from this area, and it's characterized by a much longer stalk So I think we have
Kind
a
of
good
cool
idea on that
crack.
one.
Yeah.
I've seen it before where it's been more orange and pale, but I've never seen it in that bronze color. So good to make that connection. Now we've got an interesting situation going on here geologically.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm assuming you want me on the other side of this cliff face here, right? Steve?
Yeah, towards the
Okay.
It looks like a loose rock there we could sample.
The big rectangle?
Yeah, the big rectangle.
I
so this is
think you're right.
jutting out a little bit.
Yeah, we brought the bungee cords to attach to the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that whole big chunk is just ready to fall off.
Yes, it does.
Let's not be under it when it does.
Don't give it any reason to.
Yeah.
Oh, the little kid in me wants to jump on it so bad.
I know.
You're not from Rogue River, Oregon, are you?
No,
Okay.
just a bit to the north.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that jut out piece, I think. That we're
Corvallis, about 45 minutes from OSU.
Okay.
My two viewers from Connecticut are celebrating my dad's birthday, so.
Very nice.
Yeah, the internet's also very interested in that. They heard some of our last names and got
Oh,
excited and
yeah.
started asking questions. It's not me. It's not my name.
No, yeah, my dad's Robert Ballard. He's the, I guess they put the owner of the ship,
That,
which
yeah,
he
that
is,
was
yeah.
the question, yeah.
the president of
The president of
Ocean
OET.
Exploration Trust.
Yeah, well,
Keen.
actually, all three of us will
This
be
is a cool
out
feature
in
here.
I think it's August. I don't know.
It's
I'm
that-
just
it's
told
that
to get on the
in-between-
boat.
in between stage.
Yeah, somewhere.
Just do whatever.
All three of you would be.
Yeah, me and my dad and my mom.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a time. Allison is so looking forward to it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to recenter my camera.
I feel like Argus is running over her bench, so I'm going to come up.
Yeah, you can go ahead and come up a bit.
I think you slid out underneath us.
Sounds good, Dan.
Yeah, you can go ahead
Yeah,
and come
hopefully
up to
this
20.
thing just kind of wraps around and we can scoop around it. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I think the cliff came out to the east there a bit, did it?
Yeah, I think it might wrap around. Not
Yeah.
sure yet.
Or came out to the north? depending on-
Oh. Let's see.
Is that a sponge over there?
Yeah, and below it too, there's another thing I'd like to get a zoom on.
Roger.
Red
Wow.
branching.
Red branching, gotcha.
How do you feel about sampling a piece of that sponge at the moment?
I mean, I think it's doable.
Okay. You want to try and lop off a small piece of it?
Oh, wait, did you want to see this coral first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whichever's more convenient for you. If you can get the coral afterwards, that's
It's
fine
that coral
too.
on the right there.
Oh, yeah,
One
itty
on the
bitty
stalk.
baby.
Yeah, that looks like another Metallogorgia, but a small one.
Wait, video. I'm going to have you come in now. Go ahead and push in a bit.
Okay, zooming.
That's good. And I'm just going to pan a bit.
I thought I saw a squat lobster on this one. There's a dearth of squat lobsters on this dive.
I like the word.
Yeah.
Video, please push in some more,
Usually,
please.
I would
zooming
expect
more.
to see more.
That's good.
Mostly brittle star associates. We've seen some aplacophorans, but yeah, this looks like another bubblegum coral. Paragorgia or similar.
Did you say Paragorgia or Metallogorgia?
Paragorgia.
Got it.
Yeah. All right, that looks good. Looks like there's a small gall or something maybe on the lower third. Maybe corals are known to sometimes secrete like a defensive coating that protects them against parasites or things that might want to prey on them, or to avoid damage. Doesn't look to be living, looks to be attached to the colony.
All right, Steve, so you said this is good for here?
Yeah.
All right, video come wide, please.
All right, coming wide.
Brittle still.
And that's, you want to keep full wide for a sec?
Yep.
My friend the miso cam is right where
Right where you don't want
right
it.
where you don't want it. It just finds that spot on the ROV and says, I think I'll be here.
Yeah. I think I'll be in the way today. So this will be an interesting sample because there's not a lot to set down on, but actually there's nothing to set down on. So this will be interesting. Dan, how do you feel about using the manips while I fly and get you in position?
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
If you wanted to just poke in on porch there by Mongo.
Poke
Okay.
in on it?
Yeah, can you just balance yourself like that?
Let's see.
Is that doable?
So when I hit the camera. How about we move Mongo out of the way first, and then we can try doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How do I work this thing?
Hit the one
so
that says do not hit.
Don't touch this
So
button.
I enabled your keypad, and then
I've never run a manip with a keypad. This would be a first for me.
Or special.
Extra special. So I have to put in some secret code?
nope, you good. I move back for you here.
So which way do you want to move it?
I just want you to wrist up a little bit, and then we're going to shoulder in, and then I'll protect the camera. You can also elbow up a bit, so wrist up, elbow up, and then shoulder in. You can also
Okay,
wrist
pressing
right.
the wrist up button. Hey, it works.
Yep, and then go ahead and elbow up a bit.
Elbow up,
That's good, and then wrist right.
wrist right. Feels like we should tuck him in behind the bumper. Is that possible?
I was just going to put him in front of the porch like this. Might be a little bit in the way, but it'll keep the camera out of harm.
What's our sampling
So you happy
box
with him there? Or you want
situation?
To move it some more?
You can just shoulder in a little bit.
Azimuth, right? You mean?
Azimuth, yeah.
Or that
So
must be a
this
shoulder-
this collection
shoulder right?
for folks on
Shoulder right.
shore
That's good.
is
And then you can wrist right a little bit.
I think the 4th or 5th at least observation of this sponge we've seen on this dive. I would call it characteristic sponge of this dive
Okay,
and this
that's good.
depth, this ridge.
I can risk down a little.
I think
too?
it's in the
Tuck
genus
him back in?
Poliopogon,
Sure.
which has been
do you
observed
not want it to
in
stick out in
the
the front?
Pacific,
Yeah, I
but
just want the camera to be out
never
in the
in
front.
this unit of the monument. So I
you
think
good
it's
there or
worthy
back
of a
where you
small
were?
collection for
Let's try it there.
genetic
Oh.
identification as well as morphology. So pilot, I expect this to be pretty soft and spongy and not brittle and crunchy, if that helps you.
Do you run this thing like this, or do you run it crooked?
I ran it like that, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Never done that before either. So it's gonna be totally new for me.
You can change it about if you want.
Data, what's our bio box situation?
I'll let you get out the arm first before I fly in.
You can fly in.
I can help you with there, Nav. So we
move
have
the arm?
the aft inboard still open, and then the 2 outboards are open.
So not the front porch.
Not the front
Not
porch.
the front starboard bio.
Yeah.
Aft, this starboard bio box, inboard, aft, and then what was the other one? And the 2 front. The small compartments.
Dan, before you can live, you want to come up a little bit on the winch there?
The 2 outboard
Sorry.
are open on the starboard side.
Oh, the 2 outboard.
Up on the
Okay, I
Yeah.
can see.
Little
and the
up, yeah.
aftmost inboard compartment.
Aftmost inboard. So it depends on the size of this chunk. Huh.
Yeah. You know, I would say if you could aim for the aftmost compartment, go for it, because we have rocks still left to collect, and maybe
Okay.
those might want to be in the outboard compartments.
Yeah, it's up against that hard stop there.
No more down.
No more down. That's all right.
Depending on the
I think you move the boat a
grip
little
you get
so
on
can
it,
see
Jess.
yourself.
You can also you can do like a minus 10 degree heading change. What'd you say, Rennie?
Depending on the grip you get on it, it may be easier to go sit down after because the thrusters will be engaged on the starboard bio,
Yeah.
and it'll fly away.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Or we could just float away, do a mid-water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, you wanna bring your arm out in front and then I'll come and sit down.
I'm loath to bring it too far out front because might kiss it.
Yeah, just a little bit so that I can, there's a rock that heads out there, so I just don't wanna get the arm bent up in that.
You'll have to turn it on or something.
Probably don't have the valve on. Yeah, alright, go ahead and secure it real quick.
Okay.
And then valve. Alright.
It's alive.
It's alive.
Alright.
Okay.
So if you park the left bit of the vehicle and leave me some room to work there on the right,
Yeah.
I put the sample right in the center of your camera. Maybe a little lower, just.
Yeah. So go slow.
Somewhere in there.
I'm gonna bias it so that I don't hit that camera.
Not too low because I don't have to reach up. It'd be nice to reach down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to hover, I think.
You got the view in bubble of MISO, and it looks pretty safe.
Yeah.
Can we get a zoom before we sample?
Sure, hold on, stand by.
Thanks.
You should be able to put your porch right there. Just touch on the rock there.
Yeah.
As long as you're not scraping your Niskins, you're good. No autos on, right?
No, no autos right now.
Perfect. So sorry, Steve, you want to get the whole thing or just a little piece of it?
Well, we want to go for a small piece. You know,
See how we sit here.
10 centimeters wide, let's say.
What's the minimum grip force this thing works at?
I think about 5.
5. You're in a happy place?
Yeah. I'm on stick lock right now to see if I can.
So I'll try and move slow not to steal your flow.
Can we get a
Alright.
zoom first, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Go for zoom.
All good.
Okay to zoom?
Go ahead. I'm trying to porch.
Just gonna get a nice zoom just to get focus and stuff. Alright.
Okay. Do you want lasers on this thing too?
Yeah, sure.
Ah, lasers kind of shoot.
There we go. So let's call that maybe 50 centimeters, 60 centimeters tall. Just eyeballing it.
You can leave the zoom there if you want.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Do you want to close up as well, or this good?
Done.
Creeping in the
Jeez, those jaws open wide.
Yeah,
You
they're
wanna
pretty
play with
beefy.
those just for a second?
Sure. Do you want them to come a little wide there?
No, that's good. Anywhere in particular? Off the top, side?
Steve, you guys have a specific spot you want this sample?
Easiest for you. No, any material. It's
Something
pretty
like that.
spongy.
Bigger, smaller?
That's good. Yeah, let's go for that.
Going. Ow, that really hurts.
It really hurts.
It's like cotton candy.
We do have some questions about the well-being of the sponge, Steve. If you could soothe everybody's nerves about our collection of this piece.
Yeah, yeah. So
All gonna fly away.
It feels like it, huh?
the sponge will most likely be okay. You know, no one's ever gone back to see how our collections fare after the fact. But most of the time when we collect a colonial organism, there's a significant portion of that organism left, and it is allowed to regrow.
And then the freeze is the big button.
Generally, the piece that is collected doesn't fare so well.
Video on a couple
Mostly
little wide there,
because
please.
in order to preserve this organism and identify it, we need to preserve it typically
Fully
in
wide.
ethanol or alcohol. In some cases, we have other preservation fluids that require the animal to no longer be living. But in the case of the sponge, I think we'll put a small piece in alcohol and the rest of it will be dried, depending on how big it is actually when we get it up.
Science, are we going to put this in the starboard bio at the furthest most D? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Sorry,
Just
Steve.
moving really
Yep.
slow 'cause I don't
No
want it
problem.
to fly out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the sponge will be all right. It will be fine to regrow, and you know, maybe we'll come back in 50 years and it'll be regrown completely. Who knows?
50
These
years,
sponges are quite old and they've been through probably worse things.
I'll be like 105 then.
There's a salvo starboard.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna switching over now.
Okay.
Alright, so we have other corals in there, so I'll just go real slow opening.
Per our collection guidelines, we do make every effort that we're in the monument to follow our permitting restrictions. We're allotted a certain number of collections. All of this is meant to better understand the biodiversity that lies within the monument.
Let me know if you want, I can kill my vertical thrust if it starts to float out, okay?
Yeah, you can just float up if you want while you close the box. You should be still see yourself on
Yeah.
that. What box do you want this in, Steve?
The D is open, aftmost inboard.
Sorry, stay again.
D. D is in Delta,
D is in Delta, right?
if possible.
Possible.
If it looks risky, you know, go for the easiest one.
Oh, somebody else is all taking all the low-hanging fruit already.
What was 006?
We haven't.
Come on, curious about the greatest.
There's also a rotate. You can do the auto rotate. You can.
Just trying to get lined up to shove the jaw down in there.
Roger.
Think I'm lined up?
They look pretty good. Can at least get the tip in there. Nice.
Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Open, open, open.
So you still got a piece on you.
Oh, it's
Oh,
floating
no.
away.
No.
There it goes.
Okay.
I'll close the bin and get another one.
Can I take another bite?
Another bite.
Sorry. You can leave it open if you want.
And
I'll
don't,
close it just for the
Oh, the other side.
corals.
and don't forget, as the box says, have a nice day.
Well, that was an epic fail. Try again. You alright with another bite, are you, Steve?
Yeah, yeah.
You want me to zoom in
It was
again,
looking
or
pretty
you're
good,
fine?
Dan.
Yeah, you can zoom in.
That was impressive.
What'd you say?
Yeah, you can zoom in again.
Oh, okay. All right, to zoom in, Zaz?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Is this material slurpable, Steve? Steve?
Hey, pilot. Just to make it easy on you, we can put it in one of the toolboxes in the forward bin on top of one of the rocks.
What do you want to do?
What's that?
Which do you want to do?
It's up to you. The problem was opening the jaws there, he floats out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't get out of there soon
Is it slurpable, this material? Then on a low setting to get it up in the jar?
Oh yeah.
Steve, you said we can put this on top of one of the rocks, you said?
Yeah, or slurp it, whichever is easiest.
I mean, it'd be easy to put it on top of one of the rocks. Pretty.
Yeah, but it will float out again when we open the box.
Yeah, there's 2 rocks in the box though, right?
That's
Yes.
right.
So never have to open it again?
So that'll be alright, yeah. Alright, if you want to pull that in a little bit, I'm going to move Mongo so we can get into that box there.
I can move it. You can,
Get you out of the way.
you gonna come off your rock, or are you happy there?
Off my rock. Always off my rocker.
Yes, off your rocker. Mongo, move left.
It's voice activated now. Huh? Oh, he's got both arms. The
Siri.
man's going crazy over there.
Mongo, wrist left.
Mongo good. Alright.
Good.
Yeah, that'll be good. You just bring my camera all the way back in. That's good.
These buttons are in like no particular order. Is Mongo's typically in front of the bumper there, or can he be behind it?
Oh, that's alright, because I think they want the video footage.
Yeah, just trying to get the GoPro tilted down a little more.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Alright, you ready?
ready.
There are rocks in here? Oh, yeah, I see them.
So they're not going to put more rocks on top of these? That's what you're saying?
We are going to get more rocks, but I figure we can put them in the starboard box first. So we're planning on getting 3 more rocks. We're allotted 3 more rocks. So one of them can be doubled up in the front box, and then the others can be put in the starboard outer boxes. So pick one, whichever one.
Cannot come left anymore.
There is a pinch point on the bumper bar for the manibs. So sometimes it's hard to get to that box if it's in the wrong orientation.
So, do you want to float up when we do this?
Sure.
You alright with that?
Yeah, alright with that. You know when?
And that's like as far in as I can reach, unless I don't know what I'm doing on there.
I think it's good. I think maybe rotating it a little bit, rotate your jaw, and then you can,
Okay, floating up.
Roger, coming up.
Same way.
Alright, go ahead.
And are you going to close the box, or am I?
Yeah, I'll close it.
Okay.
Go
ready,
ahead.
Go.
That's
Away we go.
very difficult sample.
Oh, that would have been too good.
Right.
So close.
All right, well, you want to try a slurp on this one, Steve?
Let's just move on. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, double fail. Sorry.
I mean, we can... we can find it again, can we? It's right here up to the upper left. We can just do a slurp real quick if you want.
No, it's all right.
You sure?
Yeah, let's just move on.
Roger, sorry.
We can, you know, for things like this, next time we can just hold it in front of, like with the jaw in front of the slurp, turn the slurp on in the bucket, and just let it get sucked in. Might be a strategy, but
I think so, 'cause
yeah, let's just move on, and then I
couldn't
think
get
we'll
it
see
into the
another one
box.
of these.
Yeah, that's something
Sorry,
else.
Steve. Tried.
It's all right. Thanks for trying. Not everyone gets in.
Gets in the big yellow bus.
I want to start with a bar low so we can improve
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah, there you go.
Can only go up from here.
Are you happy with where Monroe is?
Uh, Yeah, he's all right. You can actually shoulder a little bit to the left there, and then,
Shoulder left.
yeah.
There is some rhyme or reason to these buttons, I'm sure.
That's about it, I think. That's good.
Just want to try something real quick here.
Sure.
Up.
All right, Steve, so we're going to keep going on those waypoints then, is that?
That's correct. Towards the base of Mount Waypoint 4.
Sure. All right, Rennie, what's the bearing to get there?
Well, let's see what the strike of this thing is, huh? Where Argus is at 315. I think we can still go kind of maybe 015.
Sure, yeah.
You think that's all
015
right?
sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a little more separation.
Bridge now.
Still, it feels like we're tight. I don't know how you usually run it. But,
Yeah, usually we'll try to spread it out a little bit, but
1 step 20 meters, bearing 015. Sorry, Dan. What was that?
oh, it
You
feels
just-
like we're still tight here. I don't know what the typical separation is. Like 2 boat legs.
Oh yeah, between the vehicles. Yeah. Yeah, I'll start to see if we can.
Oh, the
back out a bit.
015 should do it for us, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
okay, Steve, so do you want to see the top of this ridge or do you want to see the bottom parts?
Exactly as we were going before the sponge. Yeah, that seemed to work great.
Sure.
A little bit of the top and a little bit down.
Okay, and along the strike a bit more.
So you're
Yep.
coming up, are you?
Yeah, I'm just coming up a bit.
Coming up too.
Okay. All right, Steve, I'll try to hold this here for you as
Perfect.
much as I can.
Perfect.
Sunlight. Oh, and it's gone.
An enemy up there.
Looks like one.
So I guess we know we're too close when the camera's hitting the stop.
Sorry?
We know we're too close when the camera's hitting the stop. That was my first quote.
Yeah. Oh, we can be stacked on top of each other, just we'll have like a 20 to 25 delta. But yeah, preferably we want to be spread out so we have time to zoom and stuff if we're moving.
Yeah, especially when we're going along the cliff. Just
Yeah,
in case there's something we're not watching.
yeah, definitely.
Focused on a coral instead of Argus. So it's more for me, so I can enjoy the flowers and the corals.
Flowers and the corals, there you go.
Yeah, if you've been following along with us for the last week or so and seeing the boat in port or transiting, we really had a a really long transit, 3.5 days to get here, but we are in the water now and plan to be for the next, we're about halfway through a 30-hour dive, and if you follow along in the next 5 or 6 days, you're more than likely going to catch us in the water.
I see.
Want to do another 015 move there, Rennie?
I see it.
Yeah, Argus is facing
2 o'clock
north,
to the
so
lasers.
015, yeah.
Pilot.
I'm sorry?
2 o'clock to the lasers. I see
nav.
a red fan on a rock that's on top of the
One more step.
ledge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is
Now
it
it's coming
this one that you're
center.
coming here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks different.
I'll go have a look.
Not sure what this is.
Can we iris down a little bit?
Yeah, video. You want to iris down and push in there a bit, video?
That is pretty weird. Can we set up for a collection again?
Sure.
So this is a black coral, and it's not one I recognize at all.
Okay.
Try and get an ID, or at least refine the ID.
All right, video, please come wide.
This is one we haven't seen on this dive so far, but there were,
It's on a nice little ledge again there.
yeah.
Yeah, you can spin around and land if you want to try the minute, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
There were
yeah.
no collections of this, or anything resembling this, in past expeditions.
This might be, see that. Hold on, I just want to look at my ground. I'm going to be trying to sit down, okay?
Yep. And the thing I like
Yeah,
about
looks
this
good.
coral
Looks pretty flat.
Giant rock there.
is that it comes with some
I like
associates,
it.
Do it, Jess.
some associates we haven't seen yet.
See how we
You want me
park.
to put this straight for you then?
Yeah, rock, thank you.
I'm going to have to learn how to do it that way because it's going to be painful to change it every time.
How do you do yours? A 45-degree angle to it?
Yeah, that's just how I learned on these craft arms, so it's comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I should learn a new trick, but I'm an old dog, so it's kind of hard.
This one might be a little bit easier. It's probably going to be a weightier, won't float.
So I'm going to have to press some other buttons here too. I can do the box from here, right?
Can you hold off on sitting down? I think we might be drifting the opposite way.
Okay.
Bridge nav. It looks like we're going the wrong way. Thank you. I just don't want you to sit down and get tugged. Canceled that move and called in another, so hopefully that bumps us.
Okay. Thanks, Rennie.
Just 'cause Argus would feel that move
First, yeah.
after because of the layback, it would take a while. So you'd be all set up, ready to go. And then
Roger. Thanks for keeping it on the ship.
yeah. How far did we go? Doesn't look very good.
You can also have, Dan, if you want to come down a little bit, it gives us a little more time in the tether.
Just had my finger on the lever.
Ah.
And then I got sidetracked by tool tray versus sample tray.
Sample tray is a starboard bio box.
Roger. That makes sense. Okay, that's your
Alright.
minimum delta. Would you like to exceed your minimum delta?
Let's exceed it.
Roger that.
Woohoo!
Coming down.
Living life on the edge of a cliff. All right. Try sitting down.
What's your new minimum delta?
Let's do 10.
Roger that. 10 it is. Oh, look, I can pan up too. Sweet.
All right, gonna sit down
Oh.
here. See how I sit? Whoop.
There's 10 and change,
A
or it
shrimp.
was.
Sorry guys. That did not steady up very well.
There's
Let's
a
try that
little
again.
shrimp.
So
There
what
he
we
goes.
have here is definitely a black coral.
It's a rough landing here. My goodness, Jess.
Get Western with it, Jess.
Seems like it. See how this settles.
Okay, we're back now where we were. The ship is at least.
So generally black corals are pretty poorly known throughout these depths of the Pacific. So a lot of the morphotypes of black corals we've seen are hard to ID just from photos alone. So this would help identify this to species level, having a photo and a coral
Is it all
sample
right
to
if
go
we
along with it.
zoom in a bit on Argus?
Yeah, go ahead. Dan, you want to press stick lock here for me
Hi.
here?
What button's that?
The one to the furthest right.
That guy?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stick lock engaged. Look at you, balanced on a marble.
Balanced on a definite marble.
Top of a cliff in the middle of the Pacific.
Planet Earth.
Nice landing, Jess. Very nice.
Hopefully it stays. Do you mind if I take this one?
Oh, it's all you, mate.
That's awesome.
What's the aim for this one,
Cool
box-wise?
shot on Argus.
Oh, there you go.
So-
You're sliding.
Here's my suggestion about sampling parts of the colony. There are 2 squat lobsters on here. They are associates and they're really poorly known, and we want to get a
It's a
squat
little
lobster
harder.
with the coral. The piece that is in the upper third has a squat lobster on it towards the end of the colony. That's my suggestion, is to grab that piece. If you're very gentle, the squat lobster won't even know that it's left the seafloor.
It's a squatter and we gotta get it out.
Yeah, we don't want to get it out. We want it to stay in there. And so
Are you
that's
gonna
my
try
suggestion.
Pressing stick lock again there for me, please.
Roger. You got full down on it?
Yeah, 71%.
You're
Jam.
crazy.
See if we get pulled off or not.
I don't know, hold it. I'll keep an eye on the vehicle if you want to play with your manipulator there.
Sure, sounds good. It looks like I'm coming towards you if you want to come up a bit. Because we have I think now we have plenty of room to play with.
We're zoomed in, that's why.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
That
you
makes
can
a
zoom
lot
in
of
a bit
sense.
again if you want, Emily. It's a sweet shot.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Steve. You said there are 2 squat lobsters that you would like to
Can
sample
you get a
with these.
still of that?
So there are 2 squat lobsters. I'd like to get 1. And so just the upper, that upper floating branch that looks like it's separated from the others. So the upper third of the colony, let's say,
Okay.
seems like a good grab point to get that squat lobster low enough so that it won't get pinched. And you can take it whole into the box.
Okay, understood. And
And
video, please come in on Herc, please.
Then where are we going to put him when we do get him in the starboard box?
Yeah, I would put them in the starboard box.
Okay.
Okay, so
Try not to shake them off.
you're going to want me
That's
to
a cool
press,
shot right there.
salvo something?
Yeah, so I'll have you press salvo starboard.
Roger.
And then on the bubble cam, I'll have you go press 4 as the preset.
You want to do that now for the bubble count? Or
I'll see if I can just
I'll
line up
show
the
you
shot
this.
here.
Yeah. So 4 and salvo starboard. Got it.
Yeah, video come wide, please, on Herc. Okay. All right, coming hot.
Just for the cool factor, I think it's way cooler when the jaw comes into the zoom shot. So if you get lined up, so you know all you have to do is like do some move,
Uh-huh.
then you zoom in and then the jaws of death come in for the shot. Looks really cool.
Ooh, I kind of like that idea. Jaws of death.
Then you just close your eyes because you know where the manip is, right?
Close your eyes. Let's try your way there, Dan. Okay, go ahead and zoom in there a little bit, video.
The jaws of collection where no one dies.
There we go.
Sorry, yeah.
That's
The
good.
jaws of science
Dun,
would
dun.
be better. You also have a sweet view
Dun,
at
dun.
Argus Camp.
Dun dun. Da, 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 da.
Harder to line up this way though, Dan. That means that you have just
You would get lined up before you zoom in, but yeah.
some immense amounts of skill to...
I can show you
for
in
you.
bubble if you want to see something else.
Oh, you're good.
You can see yourself there.
I want to calibrate the wrist real quick. Looks like the wrist is rotating a bit. Stand by one, guys.
I forget how to do that. Set up.
So set up, calibrate. 5.
Oh yeah, it is twisting.
Enter the super secret security code.
Super secret, yeah.
Oh my God, why is it so many digits?
I don't know why it's not.
Isn't there just an offset that
Don't
we
forget
dial
the
in?
star.
Yeah.
Wrist bias.
All right.
Sometimes if you just flip it left and right, it seems to clean out the servo valve a little, and then it stops drifting. It did for me.
All right. All right. That looks pretty stable, right? To you?
Yeah, it looks okay.
Let's try that out.
So the secret with that thing to getting the jaws to lock not fully closed is to hold it in that position for several seconds. So like if you're really slow on the trigger, it will stop, not all the way closed. And then once it physically stops moving, then you can hit the jaw lock and it'll hold it in that position. But it's it's like balancing on the head of a pin to get it to not move one way or the other when you press jaw lock. So just be right that just press it again and unlock it. But don't move your trigger finger at all.
Okay.
In theory, nothing should happen.
In theory, I like it.
That's what you hope for.
It changes too with the temperature and the depth and how the oil's going through that little tiny orifice in the piston in the jaw.
How it behaves, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, there's a little bypass hole in the jaw piston. Let me get back to...
So Steve, somewhere around here, is that all right for you?
Yeah, even a little bit higher would be fine too. I think as long as we don't disturb that top squat lobster, he'll stay on there.
Okay.
Oh, this one you close all the way and the hose holds it? Is that the drill?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
this one's the hose. Hosey bits.
Nice.
Okay, did you want to zoom on this pic before we put it away?
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead, video. Go ahead and zoom in a bit more.
So Squatty's
good.
still sleeping?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
He is.
Sleeping Beauty.
He's happy.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, come on, please, video. All right. All
Ready?
right. Yeah, you can go ahead and look at 4 there.
Salvo?
Stand
Not
by.
yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Didn't think so.